Hello, this is Dr. Lee Zeitz, and I'd like to take you on a little tour on how to create your teacher portfolio in Google Sites. This is one of the assignments that you have for EdTech and Design. Now, before we get started, I want to point out and kind of go over the process. Now, you may not understand all these parts, but I think that if we go step by step as we go through the outline, it'll make more sense for you. First of all, you need to create a folder on your Google Drive. We're going to call that folder Teaching Portfolio. Secondly, we're going to copy two templates into the folder on the Google Drive. What that means is you're going to be opening up the Teacher Portfolio template as well as the artifact matrix, and both of those you're going to copy into that folder. Then what you're going to do is you're going to open both of the templates in your browser and then create a Google site. Now, the Google site is just a website. We'll show you how to do that. Then you're going to create the title page. In the title page, you're simply going to be putting a title in there. And then I'm going to have you go through and create some blank pages. You've got 2 pages, main pages, and then you're going to create 6 sub-pages, and then 1 more page. And then the idea is now that you have these blank pages, you're going to copy and paste the pages from the Teacher Portfolio templates into the pages you just created. And then finally, you're going to insert the artifact matrix Google Doc into your portfolio and publish it. So you may not have understood all those steps, but we'll go through it, and I think that it'll work a lot better now. So let's get in. The very first thing you want to do is you want to get into our BB9, our e-learning. And so here I'm in e-learning, that's EdTech and Design. If you're not in this part yet, please stop this video, go over, get into e-learning, and then we'll continue. Now please remember, as you go through this video, if anything gets too fast or if I go too fast, just stop the video, go back, go forward, whatever you need to do, because you can control your progress through this. Okay, so we're right here. If we click on course content, that will take you to this page. Then if we go down to class projects, which that's what this is, you'll see that ePortfolio is available. We're going to go to ePortfolio, and this is where we have the project requirements. We have a video, which is what we have this, and then we also have an outline. So I'm going to click on the outline, and it's going to open up this PDF outline. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep this open and kind of go through these steps. Now, it's important for you to have this outline open because in a moment, I'm going to ask you to click on each of these links so that you can open up these files. So it says, first of all, go to your UNI Google Drive. Well, I'll tell you what, the easiest way to get to it, we're already in the ePortfolio. The easiest way for us to get to your Google Drive is to simply go to email. That's email.uni.edu, and then go over here to the Rubik's Cube over here on the right hand side and find Drive. There's Drive right there. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to create a new folder. Now here on this is this blue button. This creates new folders, allows you to upload files, it allows you to create new documents, etc. But we're just going to create a new folder. And it's called Teaching Portfolio. And you'll notice that down here we have this folder called Teaching Portfolio. Now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go over to the Portfolio PDF. And you'll notice that we have this in each one of these tabs. Now, we want to make sure that this Teaching Portfolio Templates document opens up in a tab. So you need to right-click on this. Now, if you have a Macintosh, a Windows machine, you're simply going to right-click on it. If you have a Macintosh, you're going to hold down the Control key and then go over here and select Open New Link. Okay, so there we have our Teacher Portfolio Templates. It says to go over here, click to make a copy. So in other words, this will make our very own copy. And it says copy of Teacher Portfolio. At this point, we want to put this into our folder. And so we're going to click on this. We're going to go to We're going to go all the way down here to Teaching Portfolio. And I'm going to move it so it ends up in that portfolio. Okay? And if I click over here on my drive and I open up Teaching Portfolio, you can see it's there. Let's go back to this portfolio PDF again. Now, if that got confusing, go back and turn off the video and go back and review it. Now we're going to do the same thing with Artifact Matrix page. We're going to click on Artifact Matrix page. We're going to make a copy. We are going to go up here. You'll notice this gray folder is going to appear up here. We're going to click on it. Teaching Portfolio. We'll click on it and we'll move it there. And once again, you'll see that, oops. Oh, it's still in the process of moving. Okay. And you'll see that we now have both of those in there. Okay, so we're all set. Now what I want to do is go back, and if we go to that Teaching Portfolio, go into here, we can change the names. We right click on it and it allows us to rename. Get rid of the copy of. And go over here, right click on it, rename it, get rid of the copy of. Okay, so we're all set. We're ready to go. Now, let's get started. I'm going to go back to my email. And if your email got lost someplace, go ahead and go ahead and find it. Maybe open another tab and get back into your email. We'll go up to the Rubik's Cube, and this time, instead of going to Drive, we're going to go to Sites. Now, my Sites is right here. If you don't see Sites here, click on the More button, and you may see it. You'll probably see it down here. One way or the other, you can find it. We'll click on Sites, and I have a lot of Google Sites here. Now, the important thing is click on the new Google Sites. There's an older one and a new one, and that should take you here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down here to the plus, and we're just going to create a page. And here we go. Now, we've opened this up. We want to type in Dr. Z's Teaching Portfolio. I know these letters are really big and all that and overwhelming. Let's leave it like that for right now. Oh, and then up here in the top, we want to type the same title. And then we're all set. Now what we want to do is, you notice over here on the right hand side, this is your utility column. This is where you insert things. This is where you have pages, where you can insert and create new pages. And this is where you can identify new themes and things like that. If you don't like this kind of background, you can go through and play with all the others. But let's not do that now. Right now we'll go into Pages. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into Home. And one of the choices over here is to rename the page. And instead of Home, we want to call it Intro. So I hit Return there. Now it's time for us to go through and make those pages that we were talking about. So I'm going to go down and hit this Create a Page again, and I'm going to add this page. And this one's going to be called Artifact Matrix. Done. And then I'm going to create another page, and it's called Artifacts. Done. And now what we want to do is we want to make some subpages here. And the way we do that is we go over here, we click, and we go to Create a Subpage. And now I'm going to go through and type them. You'll see them in the notes. A blog. And then I need to go back up here to Artifacts because I want to create another subpage. Don't put it on blog, put it on Artifacts. And this one is going to be called Personal Learning Network. And then I'm going to go back up here, create another subpage, and Thematic Unit, done. Okay, we've gone through and we've added all of these subpages. Now we have one more page, but it's not a subpage, it's a main page. So I'm going to click on Artifacts, and then I'm going to go down here and click on this page, or this Add Page button, and I'm going to put in Standards. And done. So we now have four main pages. We have the intro, the artifact matrix, the artifacts, and then we have standards. Now it's time for us to go through, and you'll notice that this is the way it goes across the top. In standards, the drop-down pages, the sub-pages are all here, very easy to use. Should be pretty good. Now it's time for us to add content. Okay, let's go over that portfolio. And this is information, explains the whole process. And the very first thing we have is the intro page template. It says to copy below this title. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to go down to, it's about 1.25 pages. I'm going to copy that text, and then I'm going to go back to my site, and I'm going to go to the intro. I'm going to click below, and then I'm going to paste. And you notice all that information is there. What you're going to do is you're going to write in text for who I am, why I'm going to be a teacher, what I hope to achieve through teaching. Down here, this is actually explaining the different parts of the portfolio. These directions for your convenience and should be removed from this page. Please remember, remove these from your page so it looks really good. Okay, so we've created that one. Now we want to go back and we want to go to the teacher portfolio template. The next one is the blog. We're going to copy from blog title down to right here. We're going to copy. We're going to go back to the site. We're going to go into the blog. We're going to click down here and we're going to paste it. There you go. And then I'm not going to go through and explain each one of those, but let's go to the next one. Okay, now the next thing is to get the template for the Personal Learning Network page. We're going to copy this all the way down here. Now it's only 1 page long. So we go down here, we copy it. It bled over a little bit onto the next page. We're going to copy it. We're going to go over here. We're going to the Personal Learning Network, and we're going to click down here, and we're going to paste it. And then I'm going to go back to the teacher portfolio template. Next one we're going to do is the thematic unit. I'm going to go to the teacher portfolio. I'm going to go down here, and remember you're copying below that title, and go down to the thematic unit. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to the site. I'm going to click down here. I'm going to paste it. Oops. Paste it. And then finally we'll go to the interactive learning tool, and we'll go over here to the portfolio template. We'll go to the interactive learning tool, and copy all of this, and go over to the site, click down there and paste it. Okay, so we've gone through and we've actually, we've completed all of these different pages. They have all the information in there. Now you just have, during the semester, you just have to fill this up. Now I want to point something out. You see this one up here that says Artifacts? If you click on that, it takes you to a page called Artifacts, and it's empty. That's just the way things are set up. Now what I did is I created in the teacher portfolio template, I got these words that I want you to copy into that artifacts folder file. We're going to go up here, we're going to copy, we're going to go back to the Google Sites in the artifacts page, we're going to click down here, and then we're going to paste it. And on this one, what do you say that we make it bigger? And we can go in and we can, you can fiddle with it as to what you want to do as far as size and bold and all those sorts of things. You can do that later. Okay, and then the final thing that we want to do is we want to click over here on the standards, and we want to go up to the teacher portfolio template and highlight all of these standards, and these have to do with the INTAS standards and then the two ISTE standards. We're going to copy them. We're going to go over to the teaching portfolio. We're going to click on this. We're going to paste it. And now we have the standards included. Great. So we go back in here. So let's go back. We're back in the intro. We have the intro. We have the artifacts. We have the standards. Now it's time to insert the artifact matrix. And so we begin by opening the artifact matrix page. We want to click the Insert tab, which is right here. Now the artifact matrix is different. It's actually a Google Doc. And so what we want to do is we want to insert that doc into the system. So if you go down here and scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that Docs is right here. And over here is where we have the artifact matrix. This should show up. If it doesn't show up, you can look for it going through the docs here, but it should show up because we just added it today. We'll click on it. We'll double click on it. And this shows that we have the artifact matrix. Now, here's something interesting, and that is that we want to make it so it's bigger, because the artifact matrix page, as you saw, was 4 pages long. And this is as much as we're going to be able to see right now. Now, when they post it and when the students see it, they're going to see all 4 pages. But for right now, this is all we get to see. Okay? And so that's all taken care of. Now, the key to this, let's close this up. We'll close up the docs. We're going to go up here. We're going to go to the intro. And now, finally, what we want to do is we want to be able to publish the page. And so we're going to click up here. We're going to click on Publish. And now it's asking, so what do you want to use for a website? Now, it took Dr. Z's teaching portfolio and put it here as, you know, it took the title and condensed it. You can make it smaller if you want. I'm going to make it so that anyone on the web can look at it. I could ask the public search engines not to display my site so people can't find it. I don't see any problem with seeing it. And so I'm going to click on Publish. I now click on Publish. And now people outside of this can see it. Now, if we go back and take a look at that, if we want to go down here, it says View the Published Site. Now, if I click on that, that is going to take us out so we can see the published site, and here is what it looks like. Now, if you want to put in pictures and things like that, there's ways to do that, and you can learn how to do that on your own. But this is your portfolio. Now, this is the address. Right here is the address that you're going to be using. Now, you might want to go up here and bookmark it. You might want to write it down. However, what I'm going to suggest is that when you submit this, you're going to want to copy. You can copy the whole thing, or you can just copy the without the intro. But you copy this over into the submission box on Blackboard. So I hope that we've got some other things in here about making links with your artifact matrix. And the way that works is that if we go back here, this is the published one. If we go back here and we want to, we've got the artifact matrix. This is a Google Doc, and this is your portfolio. Now imagine we just have these two, the Google Doc and the portfolio. One of the things we're going to want you to do is that when you go to the artifact matrix, it's going to open up like this, and it's going to show all of these tables. Now we want to make it so that when you click on blog, it takes you over to the page that's the blog. So let me show you how to do that. As I said, any kind of changes that we make have to be done in the Google Doc. And so we're going to go over here, view the published site. We're going to go to the artifacts. We want to go to the artifacts. We want to select the blog. And you'll notice this is the address for the blog. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this address. Copy. And then we're going to go over to this document. And where it says blog, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to right click on it. And I'm going to put a link there. And remember that address that I copied, the blog address? I just pasted it in. What I did is I went up here and I pasted it in. Okay? So I apply. And I can click down here. If I click on this, this opens up. And you'll see that it takes you right over to the blog. Now here's a really cool thing. And that is that you need to go down here and you need to put that in each one of them. I'm going to put another link. And I'm going to paste that in. And then I'm going to go down here. I'm going to put another link. And I'm going to paste that in. Apply. Now, the beauty of this, let's go back and take a look at your published page. We're now in your portfolio, the published version. Oh, I'm sorry. And now we're going to go down. We're going to take a look at the artifact matrix. And take a look, and there's blog. And if I click on it, it takes me right over to the blog. So that's something you're going to want to do with each one of those. And it's a repetitive thing. So what we've ended up with, let's take a look. We've ended up with a portfolio. And you need to create the first part. You'll have the artifacts that you're going to be creating throughout the semester. And this is going to be an integral part in the things that you do this semester. I hope that this has been clear. If you have any questions, please contact your instructor and have a wonderful semester.